Well, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. You are looking live at Kipke Field, site of tonight's game between the Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators and the Charlevoix Rayders. Thank you for tuning in and making us a part of your Friday evening. National anthem being played right now by the Raider Marching Band. We welcome you into the broadcast booth here. Charles Strail, the crew of Next Level Broadcasting, joined by Dennis Halverson and Shane Smith tonight. Gentlemen, welcome into playoff football.
Hey, great to be inside here tonight on a very, very rainy, windy, I guess probably appropriate night for football, huh, Shane?
Yeah, I mean, it's late October. It's playoff football. What more can you expect with the weather like this? That just adds to the excitement, adds to the difficulty that these two teams have to go through in order to make it to the next level in the playoffs.
Well, we saw these two teams just about 2 months ago squaring off from Kipke Field, and it was a thriller, a 41-40 game. Shane, I know you did some research looking at that game, and you wanted to talk more about our what we can expect for a viewing audience that might not know too much about these two teams.
Well, I tell you what, it's going to be just an all-out battle in the trenches tonight. Just as Dennis mentioned here a moment ago, the weather is rather atrocious for throwing the football, so it's going to be a lot of running, a lot of ground game tonight, and these two teams excel at that. They've got amazing runners in Hudson Vollmer and Logan Watkins for Charlevoix. I mean, you've got Tommy Donahue and Harrison Shepard, who's your quarterback for St. Francis, but then you've got Cam Sellers as well. I mean, just some great talent between these two teams. We saw a 41-40 battle first game of the season, and I expect nothing less challenging for these two teams tonight, Dennis.
Well, interesting enough, the game after Traverse City beat us by 1 point, the very next game, the quarterback for St. Francis broke his hand.
Yeah.
And so they kind of went on some hard times there in the middle part of the season. We're playing about 500 football, but just the last week he's come back. And he came back in a big way. They're finishing up strong. Just looking at them pregame, looks like they brought about 500 Gladiator football players with them. No kidding, folks. They are a big squad out there. And like Shane was mentioning, the third opponent here tonight is going to be the weather and the field conditions. I had a chance to walk on the field before the game time. This will be a mess before it's all over. The field is in pretty rough shape, very wet. Between the 40s tonight, it is going to be a mud bog before this is over.
Well, Raiders won the toss, elected to defer to the third quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you're settled in wherever you're watching from. Here we go, Raiders and Gladiators coming up on Next Level Broadcasting. Playoff football begins with a squib kick by Ryan Pearl, fielded by Eli Bigger at his own 30-yard line, and Bigger is down at the 35-yard line, tackled by Joshua Schultz for the Raiders. And we'll see the first offensive possession for that St. Francis offense. Second game for starting quarterback Endress will be under center once again. Endress under center. Second game back after having a broken forearm that he suffered in week 2.
Well, we're going to hear Bigger's name a lot tonight. He's one of their outstanding offensive players as well. So Traverse City comes out, full house backfield here. We'll see what happens.
Looks like the Raiders jumped on the right side or left side of the defensive line. Guilty party, I believe, here for the Raiders. I think it's going to be called on Ben Motter. I think so, but
yeah, they bit when St. Francis kind of went into the shift there, and you got to amp it down a little bit. You got to just play your game. Slow the game down. Don't get too amped up here at the beginning.
Endress is going to turn and hand in the backfield. The give was to Harrison Shepard, and Shepard gets maybe 1 yard on 1st and 5.
Well, Swanson was in there somehow, right there at the point of tackle. So it brings up a second, about 4 for TCSF.
Endress turns, hands. Nice penetration by the Raider defensive line. First man in there was Bryce Johnson, or at least he was the last man to get off the tackle. Joshua Schultz was also in there as well. That was Harrison Shepard. Actually, Cam Sellers, who was on the carry.
Well, I tell you what, Charlevoix doing an excellent job there stopping the ball. That's been one of their biggest problems all season long is penalties, just as we saw there. I'll get back to that analysis here in a moment, Charles.
Here's an I formation set on 3rd and 5, and Charlevoix jumps once again. That
66.
time, it's going to be
Trevor
Streeter. So maybe just a little bit of nerves early on for the Raiders, just trying to do their best to really make an impact here early. And unfortunately, right now, the Raiders with 2 penalties for 10 yards so far.
Well, that's been Charlevoix's biggest Achilles heel all season long is penalties throughout this season, unnecessary things that thankfully we haven't had too many against tough opponents other than Traverse City St. Francis. So we've been able to get away with them, but not here. We'll see how this goes.
This time Harrison Shepard in jet motion gets the handoff. He slips and is eventually brought down in the backfield for a loss of 2 yards. Looks like Trevor Streeter made up for that false start there by making the tackle for loss.
You can't do it much better than that.
Well, the moms of these St. Francis kids are going to be sorry about the white jerseys, man. They're starting to get dirty, and we're just a couple minutes into this ball game. Like we mentioned, the field is in absolute terrible shape, and it's going to be a big factor in success here on the offensive side, especially here tonight.
2nd and 13 for the Gladiators. Endress in the shotgun formation. A little bit of a trip set to the top of the screen. He's going to hand off to Cam Sellers up the middle, tackled by Landon Swanson and a host of other Raiders after a gain of 5 yards on 2nd and 13.
Again, like you mentioned, Shane, that 5-yard penalty gave him the first down. We can't be handing them over easy first downs. Again, but like Charles says, everybody's kind of rubbed up right now. They just got to, again, keep in the moment, slow the game down, and do what got you here. And that's slow, methodical play.
3rd and 8 handoff goes to Cam Sellers. He picks his way off the left guard and spins around, eventually brought down by Henry Herzog, it looked like.
That brings up a critical 4th down here for St. Francis. Game going to be all about momentum, and like I think Shane mentioned, it might come down to who doesn't give the ball up as much. It kind of just stopped raining, but right up to the first whistle there, it was coming down hard.
So Charlevoix with 2 penalties for 10 yards so far. 4th and 3 here, right about midfield, just into Raider territory for the Glads, Charles.
Yeah, we'll see what they do on 4th and 4. I'd imagine this is a hard count all the way. Actually, they snap it. They're going to hand off to Harrison Shepard. It's going to depend on the spot. Line judge says he has it on both sides. And actually, I should say the far side line judge marks him with the first down. The near side line judge looks like he's got him a little short. Spot goes to the and we're going to have a measurement. First measurement of the afternoon, or evening, I should say. And we want to thank our pregame sponsors this afternoon, Chris Hathaway Farm Bureau from Traverse City and Martin Concrete from Charlevoix.
Do you guys remember a measurement at all this year?
I can think of one.
Yeah, they've been kind of rare this year, but this is pretty important right off the bat.
To me, it looks like
I don't think he got it.
Well, I think he's got it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll wait here and see.
Oh, then they stretch him out.
Fourth and 4, if you're just joining us, it was Cam Sellers who was the ball carrier, and he was just about 2 to 3 inches short on that 4th down play, so the Raiders will take over on downs. First opportunity for Brady Jess and company. That Raider offensive line comes out as well for their first opportunity. They're going to motion Logan Watkins and another false start on the Raiders. That'll be their third penalty, already adding up with 15 yards for the Raiders.
Yeah, with like just 2 minutes in the game.
Yeah, right. I mean, at first, St. Francis, they only got about 15 of actual yards there on that opening drive. They had 10 handed to them. Now Raiders shooting themselves in the foot. 1st and 15 backed all the way up inside their own 40. This is not what the Raiders need to do if they want to look to advance ahead. This has been their problem all season, is penalties, especially false starts, lack of discipline there on the line.
Well, we'll see what they have here on 1st and 15. Gladiators with 3 down linemen, 2 stand-up ends. Here's the handoff to Logan Watkins around the right side. He breaks the tackle. He's at the 50, past the 50, gets a block from Owen Waha. Watkins is going to take this all the way for a Raider touchdown. Big time play. Watkins dials it up, goes 62 yards to the house, and we've got first points here from Kipke. Raiders on the board, 6-0.
Oh, my gracious. That was set up by about 3 key blocks there, and that kid doesn't need much. And he was kind of slippery. He's all wet, and nobody could grab onto him, and he went for 6.
Got a big block on the outside of the perimeter. Got to give credit to Owen Waha. Owen Waha made the false start, or was guilty of the false start on the previous play. Made up for it there with that block on the perimeter.
Certainly did. Raiders take an early lead here. 8:27 to go in the first quarter. Raiders up 6-0. See what they do here. Going to go for 1, go for 2.
Looks like they're going to spot the ball on the far side hash.
Yeah, it makes it difficult because we're on the opposite side of the end zone. They're going to go for 2 here right off the bat, not messing around.
Jess in the shotgun. That is Henry Herzog to his left. Landon Swanson in an up-back position. Jess hands to Herzog, and Herzog is in for 2. So the Raiders score on their opening possession of the game. 8-0 Raiders with 8:27 left in the first quarter. We're going to step aside here, and when we come back into the Gladiator football here on Next Level Broad.
Located in Charlevoix, Michigan, is Martin Concrete, where they specialize in residential concrete construction, providing high-quality concrete work and guaranteeing customer satisfaction. They're proud to serve Charlevoix and the surrounding areas. No job is too big or too small for Martin Concrete, with services ranging from concrete slabs, footings, driveways, retaining walls, and much more. There's nothing that Martin Concrete can't do regarding concrete. That's Martin Concrete, online at martinconcretecharlevoix.com, or give them a call at 231-838-9610.
More than just 4 walls and a roof over your head. That's why they say there's no place like it. Home is where we put down roots, and making memories is a daily routine. Knowing that your insurance provider is also a neighbor offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand.
And Pearl teeing it up for the Raiders. Another squib kick. It goes off Tommy Richardson for the Gladiators, and he falls on it. Nice hands by Richardson, and it's going to be Gladiator football at their own 46. Wow, some action there on the kickoff.
I mean, Traverse City couldn't ask for a whole lot better of field position there. I mean, they're only about 10 yards shy of where they left the Raiders to get that 62-yard touchdown by Watkins. So we'll see what they can do here. Caught back a little bit on their heels with the Raiders striking first.
Yeah, that kickoff got lucky and just nailed that St. Francis kid with a bullet. And got away from him, but he recovered quickly to recover the ball back for St. Francis, and they start on their own 46-yard line.
So as we got some fans in the parking lot that need to turn their headlights off. Yeah, you know, high school football, it brings together everything of local, people, and
those are probably Charlevoix parents over there.
Here we go. 1st and 10. Endress and the Gladiators under center from their own 46. They're going to turn in hand to Cam Sellers, and Sellers gets about 2 yards on 1st and 10. Tackled there inside by the interior. That's Raider defense. Camden Carey, big number 78, first one in there.
Cam Sellers, son of the coach Josh Sellers.
Sellers has some speed in the open field, I should say. This time Gladiators go shotgun on 2nd and 8. Raiders with 4 down defensive linemen. Shepard takes the give. He's looking to throw. Throws it up the middle. And it's broken up by Hudson Vollmer.
Man.
Hudson Vollmer breaks it up at the 30-yard line, and nice play by Vollmer.
No. That was an ESPN highlight there, folks. That saved. Vollmer saved a big gain. He was open there for a second. Vollmer at the last second timed his jump perfectly and disrupted that pass.
And he climbed the ladder for that one, too. Hudson Vollmer, for those of you who don't know, he's not exactly that tall in stature, 5'9" at the most, but he got close to 6.5 feet or better on that jump.
Big 3rd and 8 early on in this game. St. Francis with a bunch set to the far side of the screen. Endress in the shotgun. The motion out Eli Bigger to the far side of the field. Endress throws, and it's intercepted.
Oh, intercepted!
Hudson Vollmer with the interception at the 40, off of the deflection by Josh Schultz. The pass was intended for Mason Daziak, number 7 for the St. Francis Gladiators, and it looked like he slipped on his in-breaking curl route, causing the deflection, and Vollmer in the right place at the right time.
Again, we see the field condition make an impact on that play. Good for the Raiders, but I tell you what, that St. Francis quarterback, he's got a shotgun for an arm. That kid can wing it. And,
yeah, I mean, if that's not deflected, that's probably a completion.
Yep.
And it looked like the intended target just lost his footing. Just takes a low snap and just has to turn and make the most of it. He stiff arms the defender. He's out across the 45 and brought down at the 47-yard line. Nice tackle made by, I believe that was Harrison Shepard or Braxton Lisinski, apologies. So first tackle of the evening for Braxton Lisinski, the junior for the Gladiators. It'll bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Raiders.
Well, just made something out of nothing there. He was back there, kind of a little fumble in the backfield. Looked like that was going to be trouble for the Raiders, but just salvages a nice gain. Going to be 2nd and about 4 to go.
Right now, fairly dry conditions. Not too much accumulation from the sky at this point in time. Jeff's hands off the middle to Landon Swanson. Swanson is brought down by Charlie Olivier, but not before picking up a Raider first down. Right now, Shane, what are you kind of seeing between, your focal point coming into this game would, be how can that Raider offensive line continue their dominance? What are you seeing?
Well, I mean, they're just, apart from those penalties we saw earlier, they've been firing on all cylinders, creating those gaps for our running backs to get through, and Brady just with that 7-yard run. Back to you. Got this play ahead.
Raiders send trips to the top of the screen here on 1st and 10. Just hands off to Swanson, and Swanson is stopped immediately for a tackle for a loss. Big play made inside by Eli Bigger, Mason Daziak, and Tommy Richardson to kind of get together in the backfield for a loss of 1 yard. And that was a nice play made by that St. Francis defensive line.
And there's the old announcer's curse right there. I just talked about creating holes. Well, they created a hole, all right, this time for 4 different Gladiators to come through and stop Swanson in his tracks, which you don't see too often.
No, you do not. I was going to mention, you don't see Swanson dropped for a loss very often.
Just in the pistol with Swanson behind him on 2nd and 12. He's going to turn and hand to Hudson Vollmer. Vollmer bounces it outside, dragged out of bounds by Charlie Olivier at the Gladiator 44-yard line.
One interesting note here, the 8th grade class of Charlevoix is on their way back tonight from their annual Washington, D.C. trip, and one person on there, Craig Swanson, they're not going to get back in time to see a lot of that his kid play here tonight. So safe travels to that group coming back here tonight. But Landon, his dad's going to have to settle for watching this game later on tonight.
Right. Thankfully, it'll be on NFHS right now and then YouTube later on as well.
3rd and 9 for the Raiders. They send nickel to the bottom, Waha to the top, motioning Watkins in the backfield in orbit motion. They're going to swing it out to him. Olivier out there in the flat to push him out of bounds. There is a penalty marker down at the Raider 43-yard line, though, and this one's coming back.
Yeah, that's 15 yards as I count them there for Charlevoix in the first quarter. 15 yards of penalties on a motion play. Just a little bit too much going on there.
So an illegal shift on the Raiders. That's going to move them back 5 yards. 4th penalty on the evening for the Raiders. So it'll be a 3rd and we'll call it a 3rd and 14 from their own 49.
3rd and 14, 4 penalties for 20 yards. We're not even through our first quarter yet. Still almost 6 minutes of game time. The Raiders thankfully have been lucky so far getting their big runs and then a touchdown off these penalties. But 20 yards this early in the game is not what they're looking for. And St. Francis may be able to capitalize on that here with a 3rd and forever.
Raiders send 2 men to the bottom of the screen. Just takes the pistol snap. Blitz by St. Francis, and they get to him. Just has to throw it down. It was Warren Asher who came right up the middle and got to Brady Jess. And the officials are discussing if there was a receiver in the area. This could be intentional grounding.
Yeah, he's putting his flag back in his pocket, so he might have dodged that bullet. Still brings up a 4th down and doggone halfway to Bay Shore for the Raiders.
Yeah, initial line to gain was the Gladiator 37-yard line. So this is obviously going to be a punt for the Raiders. Got to at least give Jess credit for getting rid of that ball, though, because he saw Warren Asher. He was kind of coming on his backside as Jess is a lefty. So he had to get rid of that. Otherwise, if that's a second later, could have been a fumble. As it's a high snap.
No.
Vollmer turns around, spins it, kicks it, gets it down the field, and it's going to wobble all the way down. Fortunate Raider bounce, and it's down at the Gladiator 29-yard line where they'll take over on downs here. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, Gladiators have it with their second possession.
Small business owner, you learn to work. The custodian hat, the IT hat, and well, the you should have called a professional hat. Auto Owners takes care of your business insurance, so you can take care of everything else. That's simple human sense.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto.
And here we are, Gladiators with the 1st and 10. Handoff to Harrison Shepard. Shepard gets about 2 yards on that 1st and 10 carry. Eventually brought down by Trevor Streeter, Justin Whistler, and it looks like Joshua Schultz was also in on that one.
We got the text in line going tonight?
Just from our friend Ann Gorney letting us know about some things going on.
Well, nice crowd here. They stayed in their cars up into the last minute trying to outlast the rain, which they did. It is not raining right now, but the field is still in not very good shape.
Endress turns and hands off up the middle. That's Eli Bigger, and he's got a Gladiator first down, eventually brought down by Bryce Johnson, but not before Bigger bowls his way out to the Gladiator 43 with a gain of 12 yards.
Nice gain there by Bigger. 1st and 10, St. Francis.
Looks like St. Francis has settled into this right now. Actually, I misspoke earlier. This is their 3rd possession of the game.
Yeah.
And with a full house set on 1st and 10, they're going to turn and hand to Cam Sellers.
Man.
And Cam Sellers was brought down. Initial contact was by
Sawyer Blazik.
And Herzog finished him off. Herzog with a nice hit. Short gain for Traverse City.
Yeah, you can see make a quick note. Harrison Shepard, number 5 for the Gladiators, has a back full of mud.
He could have a front full of mud, too. Who knows? Can't see from here.
And it's 2nd and 8. Endress hands to Harrison Shepard, and he's brought down right away by Trevor Streeter in the backfield. I believe that's the 3rd tackle for Trevor Streeter.
That looked like a broken play.
It did, didn't it?
That didn't look right. Something did not happen. Someone zigged instead of zagged, because that was kind of ugly.
Raiders shuffle in some personnel here as it's 3rd and 10. Line to gain is the Raider 47. Endress in the gun 2-back formation. Charlie Olivier and Cam Sellers on the bottom of the formation. Endress keeps. He
slipped up.
And got tackled by the turf monster. And it'll be 4th and 11.
Yeah, give one tackle to the turf.
I was going to say that turf. You can't blame them too much there. You see the players with the mud on them already, and this field is turning into a mud pit as we speak, and we're not even done with the first quarter yet. Torrential downpour here to begin the game. Now things have thankfully lightened up, so the ball will kind of stay dry, but the field will be muddy for the rest of the night, so that'll be an interesting problem for St. Francis, who is normally on a turf field.
Yeah, that's only going to get worse in that middle part of the field.
Warren Asher, the punt, ready to send it away. It's blocked, but it's ricocheted. It's an end-over-end kick that still gets and travels good yardage, and it's down inside the 25-yard line of the Raiders. And we're going to step aside, and when we come back, Raiders with another opportunity here on Next Level Broadcast.
Twin Bay Dock's exclusive diamond pattern is stylish to complement your waterfront property. It's quality built to last a lifetime. Engineered to be stronger, our non-skid surface stays cool to the touch, and we offer a full line of dock accessories, including kayak and supboard racks. To see all we have to offer, visit our website to find a dealer near you. Twin Bay Docks, simply exceptional quality.
Here we go, Jess and the Raiders. Hands off. Actually, he keeps it around the right side, and a nice play made by Mason Daziak to limit Jess to only a 1-yard gain on 1st and 10.
Man, is that a football name or what?
Well, actually,
Daisiak.
Mason Daisiak, we saw him last weekend on his senior day playing at Thurlby, and he had one heck of a game.
He's I got to say, he's probably about St. Francis's Swiss Army knife. One of my favorite sayings. He can do a little bit of it all for that team, and we're seeing it right now.
His big presence on the edge is keeping contained, and he did a good job of that there on 1st and 10. Jess and the Raiders send 3 men to the bottom of the screen, throw it out wide to Owen Waha, and he's tackled right away by his shoestrings. Man, that was a really nice tackle by Tyler Cadlick.
Yeah, otherwise I think he's still running. There was nobody after him if he did make that play, which he did. So I think you mentioned an interesting point that St. Francis plays on a turf field. They play the same stadium the two Traverse City teams play on. So turf, they don't run into much mud like they're probably seeing here. And I see three players for St. Francis. We're not going to be able to see their number before too much longer.
Right, hopefully they don't slide on their stomach here, or else we're going to be guessing. It's 3rd and 6 for the Raiders. They send trips to the bottom. Once again, Jess looking to throw, and it's going to be over the head of the intended target, Watkins. So we'll see the punt unit come out for the Raiders on 4th down.
Well, he had triple coverage there, and that pass wasn't even close. Somebody had to be open somewhere for one player to
Well, he was looking for Watkins. He just put it over his head. St. Francis, I should say, had 2 defenders down there, or 3 defenders. The third one was playing about 10 yards deep, and if that pass is completed to Watkins, it's basically a one-on-one with that lone defender. I think that one might have just slipped out of the hand of Jess. As another low snap, and Vollmer picks it up, and this one is going to go out of bounds at the Raider 40. Let's see here. It's going to go out of bounds at the Raider 35.
Ouch.
That one looked like it slid off of the foot of Vollmer as well, so that punt only traveled, I think, 14 yards.
Yeah, not good.
So the Raider defense will have their work cut out for them, and St. Francis with a golden opportunity here.
Worst punt of the season by Vollmer and the worst weather they've had of the season. Just another factor here. It's the 3rd opponent in tonight's game. 54 seconds to go in the first quarter.
With Endress under center, he's going to boot outright, pressured on the play.
Oh, man, almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of number 15. Henry Herzog hit him right between the 1 and the 5.
Yeah. Ben Motter was the Raider in there pressuring Endress, and it kind of forced that throw to come out a little bit preemptively, and fortunate not to get intercepted by Herzog. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Gladiators on the Raider 35. Endress hands off.
Oh,
Ball's out. It's recovered by
Charlevoix pointing.
Recovered by the Raiders. Raiders with the fumble recovery at actually right at midfield, and the Raiders will have it on the 2nd turnover of the evening.
Who had that big hit that dislodged that ball? Did you catch that? I didn't. Far side there, kind of dark.
All I know is Claflin had the recovery. There was a lot of players that caused that punch out of the ball, and the Raider defense might have had their moment of the season right there. Traverse City got it on the Raider 35-yard line, and now we've got a turnover. Raiders starting right at midfield. You couldn't ask for much more if you were the Raider coaches right now out of your defense.
Well, one thing I was going to say before this game, turnovers and special teams.
Yeah.
We've seen each team have a problem with each of those criteria. Justin, the Raiders from midfield. He's going to hand to Watkins around right end. Once again, nice play made. Coming up from his safety position was Cam Sellers, and he brings Watkins down right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that play was going nowhere, but I think, so far it's almost like Charlevoix knows what plays St. Francis is going to run before they even run them. That fumble was a good example. I thought Charlevoix had that sniffed out from the get-go, which wasn't going anywhere, and got the turnover. They got better field position now than they did than they have all game.
And that's going to do it for the first quarter. So after 12 minutes in the books between Gladiators and Raiders, 8-0 Charlevoix the score, and we're going to step aside. Don't go anywhere, folks. Second quarter action on Next Level Broadcasting coming up right after.
Sick and tired of monotonous family dinners? Then you need to call an audible and let BC Pizza take care of the rest. They've been the best source of handmade, hometown gourmet pizzas featuring a wide variety of menu options, including salads, grinders, and their world-famous pizza. And with a location in Charlevoix right here to serve you, where their presence in the community is second to none. BC Pizza, the best choice pizza.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Welcome back in. Second quarter now here on Next Level Broadcasting. Raiders and Gladiators squaring off once again from Kip Key Field. Raider football. As we get, once again, another shout-out to the...
Turn your headlights off.
Yeah, turning the headlights off. Want to make a quick note. It was a 62-yard touchdown run by Logan Watkins that broke the seal on this game. No scoring other than that. We have had 2 turnovers by the Gladiators, an interception and a fumble recovery. We talked in pregame a lot about turnovers and special teams. 2 turnovers for the Gladiators, a couple shaky-looking punts for the Raiders so far. So we'll see how that impacts the game as rain's starting to fall again. Jess looking to air it out for Owen Waha, and that pass goes incomplete on 2nd and 10. Nice coverage by Tyler Cadlick, but that one was just a little bit over the head of the tall Owen Waha.
Hey, I want to shout out to Barney and Chris Way, who are tuning in tonight from beautiful, sunny Florida. Barney and Chris, I've been following you on your traveling adventure here out west. Now you're settling back down in Florida. Probably a little nicer weather there tonight than it is here.
So this will be 3rd and 10. Raiders with the ball at midfield. Just saw Jess air it out to Waha, but it was incomplete. He drops back to pass. Pressure by Daziak off the edge. That one was intended for, it looked like Henry Herzog out in the flat. Herzog was being guarded by Eli Bigger, and that will set up another punt for the Raiders. Right now, wind coming in from the north,
yeah.
Right?
Northwest.
Northwest wind. So Vollmer will have the wind at his back here on this punt. Opportunity for the Raiders to potentially pin the Gladiators back inside their own 20. And Harrison Shepard awaits from his own 15. It's a high spiraling kick fielded by Shepard at his 14. He makes a one cut, slips through one tackle. Shepard still on his feet. Shepard all the way out to the 29-yard line. A nice return of 15 yards there by Shepard to set the Gladiators up with more manageable field position.
Yeah, so far punt coverage been very difficult for both sides. It's hard to run fast tonight. You cannot get down there as quick as you can usually, just because the footing is just so terrible. So you got to have kind of measured steps so you at least can be involved in the play to some extent.
Well, early on in this game, I said that this will be decided in the trenches. Passing is going to be kind of a hard thing to do here, and we're seeing that with the rain kicking back up, the wind in there. Not a great performance so far by Brady Jess. See how we can do here for St. Francis.
Well, it's hard to throw the ball in the rain like this.
Yep.
There's a high snap, and it's
oh man,
nice play made in the backfield. First Raider in there was Camden Carey, I believe. There's a lot of mud on that. It's either an 8 or a 0, and it was Camden Carey indeed who got in there right away to bring down, I believe it was Cam Sellers, the ball carrier for the Gladiators.
Like you mentioned, Shane, you can't cut. He tried cutting there, and the field is in such rough shape that running back, anybody, cannot cut tonight.
Here's 2nd and 13 for the Gladiators. Andrus turns and hands. That's Harrison Shepard on the straight dive. He tried to make a cut, and
Bryce Johnson just rung his bell.
Yeah, and it looked like Shepard lost his footing there as well right before contact. Nice tackle made by Bryce Johnson, though.
Looks like Charlevoix is winning the battle of the not as dirty jerseys department so far.
Well, they've got maroon against white, so that's a little bit more helpful for Charlevoix.
Here's 3rd and 9 for Endress out of the gun 2-back set. Hands it off on the draw to Harrison Shepard, and Shepard met right away by a couple of Raider defensive linemen, and that's going to limit the Gladiators to a gain of about 1 yard. So a 4th down coming up for the Gladiators, and that this will be their first punt of tonight's game.
You look at the north and south runners are probably going to do a little better than your cut runners. I think of a Swanson's more of a north and south runner. He probably would be affected less.
Right, looking at the personnel for both of these teams, I would imagine it's a Swanson, Herzog, and then for St. Francis a bigger type of running style game as Warren Asher sends this one away. Bounces at the 40, and Hudson Vollmer is going to let that one come down. You know, that was like when you hit a 60-degree lob wedge on the golf course. That thing came down and just stuck.
It kind of pancaked right there. It wasn't going anywhere. You could almost hear it slap when it hit there.
Have to get the grounds crew and work on that divot here from the football, but my goodness. What a night this has been so far. 8-0 is only the score. 9:43 to go in the first half. Neither team able to get a whole lot of success going down the field other than Charlevoix's touchdown on their opening possession. Otherwise, it's been just battle in the mud ever since.
I mean, it's really about big plays. It was that big play. And just hands off up the middle. That's Henry Herzog. He breaks one tackle and is out to the 44-yard line after a pickup of about 4.5 yards on first down.
Well, your only hope maybe is you can get outside the mud. You know, the middle's looking like it's catching the most heck, but the edges are maybe where offensively you can, you know, get a little better footing, maybe make a few more yards, because that middle of the field is only going to get worse as this one goes on.
Problem is, we've seen on both sides, though, players trying to get to that outside corner, and they slip up in the mud in the center anyway.
Yeah, because you got to get through the middle to get to the outside.
Yep.
Here's Jess on 2nd and 10, hands it off on the draw to Herzog. Herzog picks his way to the 47 for a gain of 3. 3rd and manageable, the key for both of these teams, especially that the air game hasn't really been too effective so far.
No, Jess doesn't have any time back there. They have not given his offensive line, typically, again, they're trying to block somebody, probably a pretty big somebody, while their feet are in mud. It's just hard to get any leverage on that block.
Yep.
It's definitely a run blocking kind of night. Hard to stand up and pass coverage. Here's 3rd and 3. Jess hands off to Herzog off left guard, and he's stopped after a gain of 1 yard, and it was a nice play made by Charlie Olivier initially and finished off by Eli Bigger. So Bigger and Olivier in there on the tackle for the Gladiators.
Well, if I'm Coach Jess, I'm going to be giving this one a ride. I mean, I'm not going to mess 4th down here on the 50 and give St. Francis that good a field position, which looks like it's going to bring up a punt. But again, you hold your breath at the snap, you know, the catch, the punt itself. A lot of things can go wrong on a night like tonight.
Yeah, exactly right. We'll see how Vollmer does here on the punt.
Shepard stands, backs up, fields it at his. Actually, he's going to let it bounce, rolling down to the 10-yard line. Eventually, touchdown by Bryce Johnson and a couple other Raiders. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, it'll be another possession for the Gladiators right after this.
That was a nice punt.
And welcome back in. Here we are. Gladiators running off right tackle on the 1st and 10 play there. It was Harrison Shepard, and he was brought down after a gain of about 2 yards.
Hey, do either of you guys get a chance to eat dinner tonight?
No. Ladies and gentlemen at home, Dennis is trying to get after a little something here for a certain viewer.
I can smell pizza.
Well, they got a mud pie out on the field,
No,
Dennis, if you're hungry.
I'll have the chicken parm.
It's 2nd and 7 now. Gladiators in the full house backfield set. Andrus under center. He's going to turn and hand off to the running back. Nice play made. Big-time play by Sawyer Blazik. And a flag comes in late.
That's pretty tough. They're going to call him for probably unnecessary roughness. That's a tough call right there.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. That one, I didn't see who the guilty party was. I don't know if it was
either.
I don't know if it was on Blazic, but he made a great play to get in there initially. So another. Well, that one was a tough penalty.
Oh my gracious!
Against the Raiders, I should say. The other four were.
Yeah, that ref's got to go to confession after that call, man. That was sinful. That was he just finished in the playoff. He can't stop on a dime either tonight, and Coach Jess out there pleading his case. He's not going to win it.
So that'll push the ball out for the Gladiators to the 22-yard line, and
you better get off.
And it'll be 1st and 10 from the Gladiator 22 now. That penalty spotted the foul. So the ball would have been at the 7, now at the 22. So it was a 3-yard tackle for loss. And wait, hang on. Now even.
Are they walking off some more?
They moved it out to the 27 now. So
we better run the play before they give them any more.
So it's Gladiators under center, 1st and 10, 6:58. Boot out right. Endress rolling the pocket, throws back across the middle. It was deflected by a Raider defensive lineman, and Endress was looking for Mason Daziak on the little short crossing route, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Could have been Trevor Streeter with his big mid up there. Somebody right over in that direction was able to interrupt that pass.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. So far, he's had 3 big tackles tonight. Just add one more deflection to his already wonderful stat sheet here in a quarter and a half of play. Those Streeter boys, they are coming out to show.
Here's the 2nd down now. 6:50 remaining in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, kind of barking out
audible. Looks like an audible back there, or a change of play, or a check with me. Gladiator offensive line fired off a little bit too quickly there, and that'll be a false start. I think that one might be called on the center because everybody moved but the center.
Yeah, he didn't know what was going on either. There was something going on. The quarterback was kind of yelling back into the backfield about something, and the center didn't see the memo. And I think, is that the first foul on St. Francis?
Yeah.
First one.
I think what they might have been doing, Dennis, is they might have been changing to a quicker snap count, and then maybe just the center didn't get that message. So it's 2nd and 15 for Endress and the Gladiators. He's going to keep it, run it himself. Nice play made by Josh Schultz for the Raiders, and it'll be a 1-yard tackle for loss.
Schultz gets my vote for most improved player from start to finish of this season. The kid's done everything right, and he's only gotten better each game. And he's a big kid. He's the whole package, and I'm happy to see him just kind of thriving right now on the field.
Josh Schultz did a really good job of staying home on that double boot out quarterback design run. That's a tough play to keep your eye discipline on, and he did a good job. 3rd and 17 now. Cam Sellers, the motion man. Endress boots out, looking to throw back across the grain. That might be a lateral, and it scoots out of bounds. Very smart play by Harrison Shepard to kick that one out of bounds. It is going to be, okay, so it was not a backwards lateral. It was an incomplete pass. So that'll move it to 4th and 17 once again.
Am I the only one here that didn't know that you could kick the ball out of bounds?
Yeah,
like
I'd
that?
never seen that before. I thought that was a corner kick or something. I'm playing a different game here.
Well, if it's a fumble, which Shepard was operating under the impression it could have been, it's just like if somebody kicks it while the ball is loose. If it's an incomplete pass, then it's no harm, no foul, and that's what it was eventually ruled at. Asher getting ready to send it away. Vollmer at his own 49-yard line. Kick bounces and takes a Gladiator roll down to the Raider 45-yard line. So with 5:47 remaining in the 2nd quarter, Raiders getting the ball back. And we've got a couple flags here on the field. And we're going to
hold up here?
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have the decision here between these officials. This is high school football on Next Level Broadcast.
Welcome to Culver Meadows, Traverse City's premier family-owned senior living community specializing in dementia care. Here at Culver Meadows, we cultivate the perfect environment for your loved ones by combining our setting, scenery, and social interaction of our residents. We pride ourselves at being an extension of your own family here at Culver Meadows. Call 231-633-9430.
Okay, welcome back in. If you're just joining us, the official came and gave his call. It was an offsetting dead ball personal fouls, one against the Raiders, one against the Gladiators. So it'll be Raider football from their own 45-yard line. Jess and company trying to do some damage here before halftime. He's in the shotgun, flanked by Swanson. Looking to the near side, and there's a flag on the far side of the play, and it's going to be a false start.
That's 6.
Yeah, I think.
6.
Well, yes, six penalties accepted against the Raiders. We're not
40 yards.
Ladies and gentlemen, for a contrast, the Raiders with 6 penalties for 40 yards. St. Francis with 1 penalty for 5.
That's what we were supposed to get the home field advantage there. Obviously not tonight.
Well, you know, a lot of those penalty yards for the Raiders have been false starts, 5 of them coming in from that variety, and you know, those are pretty objective penalties. Jess in the shot, actually, pistol. He's going to hand to Vollmer. Vollmer with a crease. Vollmer at the 50, the 45. Vollmer with the lane. Vollmer down the side. Chased by Cam Sellers. Vollmer dragged down inside the 5. Hudson Vollmer all the way down to the 3-yard line. Big play for the Raiders. A gain of 57 yards.
Man, that great run there by Vollmer. He got out into that grass we talked about where you've got some extra footing. They probably were in the muddiest part of the field to start that play, but he got him outside and nothing but green.
So Charlevoix with the 2 big plays so far in this game, apart from Harrison Shepard's 15-yard return early on. 62 yards by Watkins for a touchdown, and Vollmer with that 57-yarder, bringing them within the 5-yard line, knocking on the Gladiators' doorstep with 5:20 to go here in the first half.
Here's 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Jess hands, actually he keeps it, and he's brought down. A couple Gladiators converge to make the stop. Nice play made by a couple of their interior defensive linemen. It was Matthew Rylson, the first Gladiator in there, coming from his, he's playing on the left side of their defensive line tonight, so he did a good job of blowing that play up from the get-go.
Yeah, a little better footing down in there. Not much of the game has been played around the 5 and 10-yard line, so we might see a little better execution here on a little less muddied turf.
Here's 2nd and goal from the 4. And another penalty. It looks like the Raiders had an illegal.
Guys.
Let's see, the officials are going to come together here and let's see as they confer. I think they might have had too many men on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
you can only have 7 men on the line of scrimmage, and I think the Raiders had 8.
Another ouch.
So that'll back them up 5 yards again, and that's just an alignment thing.
Yeah, you can only have so many people at so many locations.
Want to correct it. It was 12 men on the field.
I saw the ref counting. He kind of stopped when he got to 10 for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And found 2 more, which is the problem. He should have only found 1 more.
So that'll back the Raiders up right to the 9-yard line as they bring in their kind of 2nd and long personnel. And we just...
Another one.
No. I think that might have been for lightning. There was lightning in the distance. And there was lightning, so there's going to be a stoppage of play here. So with the stoppage of play, we're going to step aside and take a break and keep everyone updated with the situation as we gain more information as it becomes more presently available to us here. We're going to step aside and be back with more information here on Next Level.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Hannah again with Charlevoix Auto. Don't let summer pass you by. Get into a new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram today and make this the summer event. Lease a sleek new Compass for an amazing $339 a month. Elevate your journey in a stylish Grand Cherokee for $429 a month. Or unleash the power of a 4x4 Ram pickup for $459 a month. Don't miss out in getting into your perfect ride for less at Charlevoix Auto on US 31 South near the Charlevoix Airport. Your trusted local dealership.
Dennis Halverson, Berkshire Hathaway in Charlevoix. Have you been thinking about selling your house? We've got a long list of people looking to buy. If you've been thinking about selling your property and aren't quite sure where to start, that's where I come in. I've got the expertise, the background, and the experience to help market your property in a way that will maximize your profit. I pride myself on the relationship I establish with my clients, whether that be on the sell side or the buy side of their real estate transaction. I'm Dennis Halverson, the 2021 ACK Realtor of the Year.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy, right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
At Jim Reel's Friendly Ford of Charlevoix, you can expect big city deals with a small town feel. With over 65 new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock and ready to go. Right now, lease this 2023 FCTP F-150 for just $300 a month. Or buy and save up to $15,483 off MSRP on select new 2023 Ford F-150s. Get the real deal at Jim Reel's Friendly Ford of Charlevoix.
Today's game has been brought to you by the Charlevoix Barbershop.
Kilwins of Charlevoix,
Fresh Coast Sliders, Burnett Foods, Bayshore Animal Hospital, J. Arnold Custom Cabinetry, J. Arnold Painting, Skydive Charlevoix, Charlevoix State Bank, Martin Concrete, Swanson K&D, Farm Bureau Insurance, the Lemarand Agency, Charlevoix Auto, CarQuest Auto Parts, Charlevoix Sewer and Drain Cleaning, Market Technologies Incorporated, Professional Seamless Gutters, Charlevoix Agency Insurance, Jim Reels, Friendly Ford, Bingham Insurance Services, Wilmot Electric, Culvers of Charlevoix, John Deere, Hudson, The Lake House, Traverse City, Cherry Capital Airport, BC Pizza, Twin Bay Docks, and Northwest Heating and Air.
Lives are a collection of experiences, from fender benders and soggy basements to great joy and growing families. Sometimes life is unplanned. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Well, everyone joining in on this lovely evening from Charlevoix, Michigan. We're going to call this the Wilmot electrifying lightning delay. And it's a delay coming with 4 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the second quarter of play between Gladiators and Rayders here from Kipke Field. Charles Strail joined by Shane Smith, Dennis Halverson, and the rest of our production crew here from rainy Charlevoix. Thank you for making us a part of your rainy evening. Shane, statistically speaking, let's give the people that might just be joining in a little recap of what we've seen actually on the field outside of the lightning bolts.
Well, there's been plenty of lightning on the field from both teams. First, we'll get into the bad stuff, the penalties. The Raiders accruing 7 penalties and 45 yards worth. 5 of those false starts, 1 12-man on the field, and another was a unnecessary roughness penalty that left the stands here pretty hot after that one. Overall, we've had some great plays. St. Francis will go into first. Harrison Shepard had a 15-yard kick return. Charlie Olivier is having a great night so far with 3 big tackles. Tyler Cadlick, a tackle for loss. And then an open field tackle as well. Warren Asher with a great QB pressure early on in the first quarter. And now the Raiders with the 2 most electrifying plays of the night. Logan Watkins with a 62-yard touchdown and Hudson Vollmer with a 57-yard run that set the Raiders up for what was looking to be their next touchdown until we had the lightning delay. Brady Jess had a 7-yard run of his own. Owen Waha, great blocks. Henry Herzog had the 2-point conversion. Joshua Schultz had 2 great tackles, including one to keep St. Francis well back in their own territory on the opening kickoff, as well as a deflection pass nearly intercepted. Trevor Streeters had a great night as well with 3 big tackles, tackle for loss, and Camden Carey adding on to that tally as well. So great effort on both sides of the ball. It was a matter of playing in the trenches, not a whole lot of successful passing with the weather tonight, Dennis. I mean, with this rain delay, it'd be interesting to see how the 2 teams come out of this delay yet tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately, so far in this one, the weather's winning.
Yeah.
And Travis Garrett just sent the whole stadium back to their cars. We are anticipating a fairly lengthy delay. Every time they see a lightning strike in the sky, it's another 30 minutes.
And the storm's only getting closer, so we're looking at probably at least an hour here. Best guesses around the clubhouse here in terms of the lightning delay.
So one thing that we want to, just kind of throw out there is, like, we're up in the broadcast booth here. The whole stands have been cleared out as, we look out through Kipke Field. It's going to be basically a long, delay in the second quarter and then a halftime delay. And then, so with 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter, we'll be out there for the ready for play eventually.
Yeah.
Teams will get a couple minutes to warm up, I would imagine, probably a 10 to 12 minute time frame to stretch, loosen up once again. And then they'll be out there for 4 minutes, and then they'll be into halftime. So we'll see if halftime is a little condensed.
I was just going to ask if there would be an expedited halftime in a situation like this.
Well, we're looking out at the parking lot here, and there are a lot of people leaving. There's taillights all over the place, and people are just bagging it here tonight, probably going home to watch us on TV maybe, just to see if, right from the comfort of their living room. It is coming down right now as hard as it has all night. The field was a mess before this, and we saw it repeatedly impact on the plays, the fumbles, the slips. Running backs can't cut, receivers can't cut. So again, the weather is an active participant in this one tonight.
Well, the weather is kind of playing like the 23rd player on the field this evening, and were just informed by the head official. He's actually up in the press box hanging out during this delay that there will be no condensed version of halftime during this game tonight. So they'll have a regular halftime, a typical duration of this rain or weather delay. So it's going to be a little choppy going forward for the players and for the fans and for everybody making us a part of your evening here.
Hey, you think we could get him over here and have him explain that call down there?
Well, I don't know if I don't know, man.
I wouldn't mind that.
I'm sure that he's got a well-dressed answer, as
probably
we saw head coach Jess quizzing him down about it earlier this
Quizzing's
evening.
a good word, yeah.
So,
quizzing.
Once again, we just want to thank you for making us a part of your evening. If you're watching us live or whenever you might be watching this game, if it's tonight live, if it's later on tonight on the restream on YouTube. Thank you for just kind of hanging out with us as we're up here in the press box, hanging out with the referee, the service dogs. We're up here
BC
with
Pizza.
BC Pizza, hanging out, eating BC Pizza. Shout out to BC Pizza for being
now all we need is Kilwins to show up again, and we got the full Monty.
If Kilwins showed up again, shout out to Kilwins for last week's pregame show.
Shout out to Leilani, too, for providing that.
Provided that Kilwins pregame show. And, it's starting to –
letting up there?
It's letting up a little bit.
We'll knock on some wood for that. Hopefully that continues.
We're going to go ahead and step aside here. This has been our Wilmot electrifying weather delay.
Lives are
these messages.
Life is unplanned. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
With
more than 18 years of construction and deck building experience, Renew It Decks and Outdoor Living wants you to know that they can customize and turn your deck and outdoor living space into something right out of your dreams. But wait, Renew It Decks and Outdoor Living is now hiring employees in the Grand Traverse area, featuring a competitive industry wage, 5 weeks of paid time off, profit sharing, a 401k match program, health insurance options, advancement opportunities, and full-time year-round work. For job inquiries, call 1-231-881-6282.
Small business owner, you learn to wear a lot of hats. The custodian hat, the IT hat, and well, you should have called a professional hat. Auto Owners takes care of your business insurance, so you can take care of everything else. That's simple human sense.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix if auto owners make sense for you.
Twin Bay Dock's exclusive diamond pattern is stylish to complement your waterfront property. It's quality built to last a lifetime. Engineered to be stronger, our non-skid surface stays cool to the touch, and we offer a full line of dock accessories, including kayak and supboard racks. To see all we have to offer, visit our website to find a dealer near you. Twin Bay Docks, simply exceptional quality.
Located in Charlevoix, Michigan, is Martin Concrete, where they specialize in residential concrete construction, providing high-quality concrete work and guaranteeing customer satisfaction. They're proud to serve Charlevoix and the surrounding areas. No job is too big or too small for Martin Concrete, with services ranging from concrete slabs, footings, driveways, retaining walls, and much more. There's nothing that Martin Concrete can't do regarding concrete. That's Martin Concrete, online at martinconcretecharlevoix.com or give them a call at 231-838-9610.
To Culver Meadows, Traverse City's premier family-owned senior living community specializing in dementia care. Here at Culver Meadows, we cultivate the perfect environment for your loved ones by combining our setting, scenery, and social interaction of our residents. We pride ourselves at being an extension of your own family here at Culver Meadows. Call 231-633-9430.
All right. Hey, we had a weather delay here in Charlevoix. It was pouring buckets. It was lightning up there in the sky, but
cats and dogs, man, they were coming down.
It was
nasty.
It was a nasty scene there for about 20 minutes here, and we're just about ready for football once again between the Gladiators and the Charlevoix Raiders. If you didn't already have enough drama, maybe during that weather delay you went on and checked out the game that these two teams played about 2 months ago here at Kipke Field, a 41-40 thriller that the Raiders came up a little bit short. Gladiators had a 2-point conversion that they opted not to go for in overtime. Went for it with the point after Raiders scored, and then went for the 2-point and didn't get it. That was on August 25th.
My birthday.
Hey, and
who could forget?
2 months and 2 days later, we're here once again from Kipke with the Gladiators and Raiders squaring off. 4 minutes and some change left in the second quarter when we resume play. Raiders will have the ball on the Gladiator 9-yard line. We're about 2 minutes from players returning to the field, and then when players return to the field, they'll have about a 5 to 10 minute interval to warm up, stretch out once again after they've been in about a 54-minute weather delay. Shane, when the Raiders and Gladiators, I should say, resume play, what do you think we're going to see out there?
Well, pretty much a continuation of what we have seen. Obviously, that field is soaked, so it's hard for those players to get around. We've seen a lot of slipping in the mud earlier, and it's only gotten muddier since the rain came down. So probably a lot more run game. Now, I will say Brady just might be getting a little more bold and trying to put some passes downfield. The rain has stopped and looks to be done for the rest of the night here as the teams are out in the field warming up, so that's good to see. So Brady Jess, who's been kind of in control with the Raiders so far this game at the line of scrimmage, I think he'll be trying to get some more passes downfield, see what the Raiders can do. We've had some massive runs so far, 62-yard touchdown by Watkins and that 57-yarder by Vollmer to set them up down here right at the Gladiators' doorstep.
Dennis, so we've seen that Raider defensive line do a good job of getting in the backfield, penetrating that offensive line for the Gladiators. Sawyer Blodgett and Ben Motter, also Camden Carey, got a couple tackle for losses. What have you seen from the defensive effort for the Raiders that you've liked so far?
Well, there's been a huge disruption for the St. Francis offense. A lot of gang tackling by the Raiders, which is a good sign that they're able to push that offensive line back. Again, for an offensive lineman, trying to hold his ground in this kind of mud is darn near impossible.
Oh, it's tough.
So it's definitely advantage defense because they're moving forward and the offense trying to stop. Well, you can't stop in mud up to your ankles, right?
Right.
So they're getting pushed back. Charlevoix's been able to penetrate and disrupt the plays, gang tackle. We've seen a lot of deflected passes by the Raider, secondaries. Some of those passes that were, look like going to be completions, and we were able to get some hands on that. So I think it's been a full package for the defense of Charlevoix, which is, led to 0 points from St. Francis.
Right, the St. Francis defense I want to make a quick point on, really only giving up those 2 large chunk plays to the Raider offense. It was that 50-plus yarder by Vollmer and that 63-yarder by Watkins. Those key big plays. The Gladiator offense did have 2 turnovers, and as we alluded to multiple times in the first quarter, not the first half because we still got 4 minutes left for that, but in the first quarter we talked about how the turnovers and the special teams, both teams, would make an impact on this game tonight. Shane, we saw a couple of shaky punts by the Raiders, and now that this weather has kind of cleared, I would imagine that we'll see what they can do here, and we're going to go ahead and send it down to the field here as we're about ready to get things going here, Raiders and Gladiators.
Stick.
And here we are, Raiders and Gladiators getting ready to resume play. And it's 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line. Jess flanked by Henry Herzog. He hands to Herzog. Herzog bouncing, picking his way to the 6-yard line. He was brought down by Eli Bigger, and it'll be a 3rd and 6, 3rd and goal for the Raiders, and we're back. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Shane.
Hey.
Yeah, a lot of the adults in front of us have went home. A lot of students still hanging around. They took all the students into the gym at the middle school, and the band went in there. Apparently they had a mini concert going during the lightning delay, so that was kind of cool. But the stands are probably about 20% of what they were before the lightning delay right now.
Here's the 3rd and goal for the Raiders. Jess and company. Jess keeps it himself. Got 2 lead blocks on the edge. Jess searching for the pylon. He's in for 6. So Jess in for score, and the Raiders strike coming out of the weather delay on 3rd and 6. And
got a flag.
This is a very late penalty that came out there.
Yeah, going to be on sportsmanlike conduct. Some dead ball foul here.
So the Jess 6-yard touchdown scamper puts the Raiders up 14-0.
Yeah, trying to decide here. Looks like
it's a personal foul against St. Francis.
Yeah, that's what it's looking.
So that'll be the 2nd penalty accepted against St. Francis.
Little extra curricular activity there after the play was dead.
And I believe that the Raiders have. Well, we'll see here what the Raiders have determined on that penalty. They'll have the option to.
At Jim Reel's friendly Ford of Charlevoix, you can expect big city deals with a small town feel. With over 65 new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock and ready to go. Right now, lease this 2023 FCTP F-150 for just $300 a month. Or buy and save up to $15,483 off MSRP on select new 2023 Ford F-150s. Get the real deal at Jim Reel's friendly Ford of Charlevoix.
Another timeout here.
Yeah,
I mean,
it takes us a minute to catch the chain here a little bit.
I guess,
that the lightning delay kind of threw all the timing off of this one.
So if we didn't have enough breaks already, we got to sit here and discuss what's going to happen here. Officials timeout there.
They're over talking to the St. Francis coach, explaining something to him. They might have tagged somebody in particular. I don't know. I guess he could think about maybe somebody got the boot out of this one. Perhaps we'll see here in a second. Well, against Charlevoix.
Charlevoix State Bank was founded in 1994 to provide exceptional local service to our northern Michigan community. With 6 locations in Charlevoix, East Jordan, Boyne City, Ellsworth, and Beaver Island, we're here to make banking easy right here in your neck of the woods with people you know. Charlevoix State Bank believes in the positive lessons of high school athletics and is a proud sponsor of tonight's game.
So what do you make of that there, Charles? Looks like unsportsmanlike against Charlevoix, but the touchdown was good. Dead ball foul.
Yeah, so it was a dead ball foul. Touchdown stands. And a timeout taken by Charlevoix.
So I wonder why they were over talking to the St. Francis ref when the call was going against Charlevoix.
Because they were probably talking to head coach Josh Sellers if he wanted to accept the penalty on the point after attempt or on the kickoff. If it was
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Solely on the Raiders. If it was not offsetting, meaning, so if it was just against Charlevoix, unsportsmanlike conduct or dead ball, personal foul, whatever the sort, they're talking to head coach Sellers right now, trying to determine if he wants it on the point after try or the kickoff. I would imagine he'll probably take it on
point after, right?
On the point after right now, because if the Raiders are able to put, as it is a 14-point game right now, the point after attempt here is looming fairly large. but they're going to take it on the kickoff.
Yep. Glad we got that squared away before the rain started again.
There was some mind-numbing for a minute there.
It took 5 minutes to figure that one out.
But regardless, that brings up Charlevoix's 8th penalty as Pearl will be kicking it here, Charles.
Yeah, up 14-0. It'll be Troy Nickel to hold.
Make it a 3-point, 3-possession game.
It's a good snap, clean hold. Pearl punches it through.
Another flag.
And so that penalty was thrown in the area of roughing the snapper.
Okay.
You cannot hit the long snapper on a on a point after attempt.
Which begs the question that St. Francis took their penalty on the kickoff.
Yeah.
Now that's a penalty before the kickoff, probably on St. Francis. So now what?
Offsetting, maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know, but this has been one of the weirdest games I've ever experienced.
Well, you guys were asking. I've been doing Raider football for 25 years. First light.
Now's the time to fly from your Northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
Been involved with. They asked me, folks, because I'm the dinosaur in the press box. But so that was a first for me, and never seen the stands emptied at a game before, which again is a safety issue. You obviously have weather concerns with the lightning, so that was a good call there with safety in mind for all involved.
Especially the snapper. You got to protect the snapper. And it'll be 15-0 Raiders on top of the Gladiators here as Pearl and company get ready to send this one away. So it's been let's just call it what it is. It's been a strange game so far with the weather delay.
Strange.
And as both teams came out, they had about 2 minutes to stretch out, get back into things, and then it was that 6-yard touchdown run by Brady Jess.
So, Charles, now Charlevoix kicking off from the 40. St. Francis chose to take the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the kickoff.
And they offset.
So they offset, so it's back to 0.
Right. Charlevoix accepted the penalty against St. Francis, personal foul, roughing the long snapper, which offset the penalty that Charlevoix had, the dead ball personal foul. So those cancel out. Pearl tees it up from the 40. And the referees have another opportunity to come together at the 34-yard line.
You'd have thought they'd seen enough of each other during the lightning delay. No, they got to see more.
Especially considering the one from Ludington. I'd think he'd be in a yank to get home here, but
yeah,
could be wrong. So whenever this kickoff ensues, we have 3 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the second quarter. Whenever Pearl and the ref here decide to get done with their little powwow.
Well, I was talking also, being the former police chief here in town, that curfew's 9:30, and we blow the whistle.
Not in the playoffs, Dennis.
No?
Not in the playoffs.
I don't think the playoffs supersede city ordinance, so I'd have to look that up.
Well, I got word on our text in line that the Charlevoix off-duty police officers are enjoying this game over at the back lot.
But you got to be home by 9:30. Why else do they blow the whistle?
Well, they might be blowing the whistle because the Raiders scored a touchdown. So we're back ready to get things going. Pearl and the Raiders teeing it up back deep for the Gladiators. Olivier Shepard and Cam Sellers. Here we go. We have
kickoff.
Football?
Hopefully. Here we go.
Pearl sends this one away.
Oh,
it's
what
going
a
to be
beauty.
fielded at the 15 by Cam Sellers. He's taking it up the right side. Cam Sellers pushed out of bounds at the 33-yard line. He was escorted out of bounds by Travis Treater, number 67 in maroon.
Well, some cars kind of sneaking back in the parking lot, so they didn't go far. Probably went over to McDonald's or Culver's.
Yeah.
Culver's. Had one of those Swiss mushroom butter burgers with a cement mixer.
So with the rain starting to come back down once again, Tyler Endress under center once again for the Gladiators. Here's the first down handoff to Harrison Shepard, and he makes his way out to the Gladiator 37-yard line. A nice pickup of 4 yards on 1st and 10.
Yeah.
Traverse City going a little rhythm here. A little hurry-up offense, trying to get something going.
The Raiders will receive the third quarter kickoff.
Whenever that may be.
Yeah, here's the 2nd and 6 play. It's going to be a handoff to Harrison Shepard on the right side once again. Shepard gets about 2 yards on that second down.
Yeah, big third down play with 2:24 to go here in the first half. Seems like we should be like about in the fourth quarter by now, but no! First half yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, what is playoff football without some added drama?
Well, yeah.
You can't ask for anything more in the playoffs.
And it's all the same price for the ticket.
Right.
So
you're getting your money's worth out of this one.
And Endress in the shotgun, looking to throw over the middle. Too high. Intended target was Isaac Kerr.
Yeah, and that wasn't even close. Again, that quarterback's got to set up. He's got to be able to push off, and there is not much pushing going on in that mud right there in the center of the field.
Yeah, I think we've seen that a couple times now for both quarterbacks. Limited ability to push off that plant leg, as you were referring to, Dennis. Really limiting the ability for them to step into their throws.
Which I think usually results in them sailing the ball, which happened on that last play. Is you got to be able to plant that foot to get a good strong pass.
Warren Asher to send it away for the Gladiators. Puts his foot down into it. It's an end-over-end kick that bounces and takes a Gladiator roll down to the Raider 34-yard line, eventually touched down by Cam Sellers, and that Raider offense will go back out there. Shane, if you're
Now's the time to fly from your northern Michigan hometown Cherry Capital Airport. TVC. TVC Airport will get you to your dream destination anywhere in the world. Visit tvcairport.com now.
In right now, got to be happy doing some damage control, only allowing 15 points for the Raiders. It's really just been those big plays that have been kind of the thorn in the side for the Gladiator defense.
Well, yeah, I mean, overall, they've done a great job. You got to give credit where credit's due to Tyler Cadlick, Charlie Olivier, and Warren Asher, all having great nights on the defensive end, pressuring Brady Jess and the rest of the team here quite often as we're going to get back into this play.
Here's the 1st and 10 play. Raiders send Vollmer in motion behind the play, and the handoff up the middle to Swanson. It goes, and a penalty marker thrown against the Raiders. This will probably be an illegal shift.
It's going to be a whole clothesline worth of laundry out on that field before the night's over.
And that was
wait a minute.
Yeah, it was an illegal shift against the Raiders. The penalty was declined, though. So St. Francis is going to take the result of the play, and the result of the play was about 1 yard gain up the middle by Landon Swanson. So here's 2nd and 9 now for the Raiders. 1 minute, 34 seconds left in the second quarter. Jess hands to Hudson Vollmer, and Vollmer is brought down by Cam Sellers at the Raider 36-yard line. That's a nice open field tackle by Cam Sellers there.
Yeah, they're pretty good open field tacklers. Be a 3rd and long here for the Raiders. Obvious passing situation probably.
You know, one thing of note, I will say, momentum is a crazy thing in sports and in high school athletics. With that weather delay coming at that point in time during the game, the Raiders had just set up shop inside the 10-yard line of the Gladiators. We'll see if that weather delay, gives the Gladiators an advantage here to kind of thwart that momentum that the Raiders had been gradually building up until that point.
Hypothermia can do that. I mean, you get cold and wet, and then you're out there, and the temperature's starting to drop here. So, you kind of wonder if they're able to at least put a dry pair of socks on during the weather delay just to make things a little bit more bearable.
So the clock was wound all the way down to 42 seconds remaining before timeout was taken. It's a 3rd and 7 now. Raiders.
St. Francis wants his ball back before the half.
Because the Raiders will receive
Sick and tired of monotonous family dinners? Then you need to call an audible and let BC Pizza take care of the rest. They've been the best source of handmade, hometown gourmet pizzas featuring a wide variety of menu options, including salads, grinders, and their world-famous pizza. And with a location in Charlevoix right here to serve you, where their presence in the community is second to none. BC Pizza, the best choice pizza.
Third quarter kickoff. If you're just now joining us, Charlevoix won the coin toss, deferred to the third quarter. It's really been a tale of two big plays that have changed the landscape of this game. The 62-yard touchdown run by Logan Watkins and the 57-yard run by Hudson Vollmer. And interesting enough, they came on the same play.
Yeah.
They just ran it with a different person to the opposite side of the field.
Well, that's what Charlevoix specializes in. They're big plays. I mean, they've done it all season, and that's their bread and butter is send Watkins or Vollmer out to the sideline, and you've got pretty much anything made for them down to the end zone. I mean, they've been almost unstoppable all season, so we'll see how this goes here with 42 seconds.
Here's 3rd and 7. Jess dropping back to pass, looking to throw. The slant has got a completion. It's a hook and ladder, and Vollmer flips it to Logan Watkins, and it's a first down for the Raiders. It was completed to Troy Nickel, and Nickel pitched it back to Logan Watkins for the first down. And, man, they pulled that one out of the thin air.
Little Raider trickeration.
So it's a first down, Raiders at the 46-yard line. Clock starts. Just taking his time under center here. Raiders in no hurry. They're going to send this one deep down the field. Got a completion to Owen Waha. Waha at the 10. Stops. Pops.
Touchdown.
Sets up shop in the end zone for the touchdown. Raiders. Big time play. Raiders strike once again. That big play offense putting it on the board from 55 yards out just to Waha right before the end of the half.
Well, if you're St. Francis, you got to be careful what you wish for. They were hoping to get that ball back, call the timeout, and actually if they'd have just let the clock run, Charlevoix maybe does the score here before the half. But now they called the timeout, hoping they'd get the ball back, and they're getting the ball back, but not quite how they wanted it.
Yeah.
Well, earlier on, we saw a couple of errant throws by Brady Jess that went over the intended target, but he put that one right on the money.
Right on the money.
And those were both to Owen Waha, who's tall in his own right, but beautiful, beautiful pass. So far the best one we've seen tonight by either team.
Yeah, it was right there. Just dropped it right in the breadbasket.
Nickel, the holder, once again. Pearl, the point after. A hard snap applied by the Raider offensive line, and a penalty marker is down once again.
You know what's almost as dirty as these jerseys is that penalty flag.
Oh, my God, I guess.
So another false start by the Raiders, and that'll back them up 5 yards. But, with just the overall power that Pearl is able to put into that kick.
He'll clear it, no
he should
problem.
get it. But that was what do you thinking there, Shane? Numbers 10 penalties?
10 for 50. We are in double-digit penalties now.
In the first half.
In the first half. To compare, St. Francis has 2 for 5 yards. That was what I mentioned earlier on in the game, the level of discipline difference between these two teams. Thankfully, Charlevoix's had some big plays to make up for it.
Here's the hold. It's a fake. Pearl's going to roll out, look to throw it, looking around, and it's incomplete. He had Bryce Johnson out in the flats, but the Raiders come up no good on the 2-point attempt. We're going to step aside and be back after this. Well,
there, Hannah again with Charlevoix Auto. Don't let summer pass you by. Get into a new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram today and make this the summer event. Lease a sleek new Compass for an amazing $339 a month. Elevate your journey in a stylish Grand Cherokee for $429 a month. Or unleash the power of a 4x4 Ram pickup for $459 a month. Don't miss out on getting into your perfect ride for less at Charlevoix Auto on US 31 South near the Charlevoix Airport. Your trusted local dealership.
In Gladiators versus Raiders here on Next Level Broadcasting. 15 seconds remaining in the second quarter from Kipke Field. We were just kind of talking about that last point after attempt. The Raiders kind of scrapped the kick and went for a 2-point try mid-play. It was no good, so we have a 21-0 score between the two opponents right now. Ryan Pearl getting ready to send this one away. Raiders scoring 13 points in the last 3 minutes of this quarter.
You talk about momentum, Charles.
There's a pooch kick fielded at the 33-yard line. Ball's out. It's recovered.
Charlevoix!
It's recovered by Ryan Pearl.
The kicker. He does everything. He washes windows. He does furniture. He recovers his own kickoff fumble.
So Pearl recovers his own kickoff. Never said that one before.
No.
Yeah.
That's hard to do, really. Usually you see kickers hang back. They don't want to get hit.
And that's a tough break for the Gladiators right now. They were hoping to get out of this half.
So do you take a knee or you go Hail Mary?
I say at this point, might as well just go for it.
Hail Mary against St. Francis? I don't think it's got a chance.
We'll see what the Raiders opt to do here. 21-0
I think
is
they
the
take
score.
a knee.
Jess in the pistol. He's going to drop back to pass, looking deep on the far side. He's got a man over.
Oh, that was close.
It was Troy Nickel on the intended pass attempt. Nickel was being guarded pretty closely by Braden Tharp, the corner who was playing man coverage into the boundary for.
But that's a tough pass, Charles. Just was fading our way and throwing the opposite way. It's hard to get anything a whole lot on that.
Well, one thing is, though, he did put it in a position where only his receiver was going to be able to make a play. So with that, it was a safe pass in that respect. Here's second down. The handoff goes to Hudson Vollmer. He makes one cut, cuts back, and is tackled. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play, a long first half of play, I should say, between Raiders and Gladiators. Raiders up top 21-0. When we resume, we will have our Traverse City Cherry Capital Airport and our Charlevoix Auto halftime show coming up after these messages.
Of experiences, from fender benders and soggy basements to great joy and growing families. Sometimes life is unplanned. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Twin Bay Dock's exclusive diamond pattern is stylish to complement your waterfront property. It's quality built to last a lifetime. Engineered to be stronger, our non-skid surface stays cool to the touch, and we offer a full line of dock accessories, including kayak and supboard racks. To see all we have to offer, visit our website to find a dealer near you. Twin Bay Docks, simply exceptional quality.
There's no place like it. Home is where we put down roots, and making memories is a daily routine. Knowing that your insurance provider is also a neighbor offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
I'm Ryan Beningo, but you might know me for my business, Professional Seamless Gutters, where we specialize in, you guessed it, everything gutters. New installation, replacements, cleaning, leaf guards, rain chains, and much more. But unlike many service providers, when you call Professional Seamless Gutters, you get me, Orion, not some bum intern or call center recording. So when you're contemplating any services regarding the gutters on your home or pole barn, think Professional Seamless Gutters.
Business owner, you learn to wear a lot of hats. The custodian hat, the IT hat, and well, you should have called a professional hat. Auto Owners takes care of your business insurance, so you can take care of everything else. That's simple human sense.
Ask Bingham Insurance Services in Charlevoix.
Back, we are just about ready to start the second half. Kickoff just was underway here. Raiders starting over with excellent field position at the Gladiators 45.
We had a 4-minute halftime, folks, so that's why we're turning this around so quickly.
This has been a night in the Twilight Zone, I'll tell you that much. We're switching from the NFHS Network to YouTube as Brady Jesch gets the handoff right away to number 15, Henry Herzog. He gains about 5 there on the field as the clock ticks.
Yeah, so the state MSHAA feed was knocked off by the Lightning, so call around. We're back on Next Level Broadcasting's YouTube channel. For those of you that subscribe, should have had a notice to that effect, and just click on that. It should have notified you to switch over so you can continue watching this game.
So 2nd and 5 at the Gladiator 40. Charlevoix up 21-0. 35 seconds have gone by so far in this first half. A little flick on over to Vollmer.
Man, he got taken down by, I can't see the number because he's been out there, 52 for St. Francis.
That would be Ben DeCarolis. And number 5, Harrison Shepard, was in there as well. So Charlevoix actually loses about a half a yard. 3rd and 6 coming up now. Vollmer ran about 6 yards longitudinally to not get anywhere laterally.
Third and about, I'll say 7.
Yeah, they're giving them 6 there on the board. 21-0, 10:46 here in the third quarter. Brady Jess with 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. He'll go for the handoff instead. Up the center we go, just short of the first down.
And number 4, Logan Watkins, took a couple of St. Francis players for a ride there and picked up another couple 3 yards, bringing up a 4th and 4. Big decision here for Coach Jess.
If I was Charlevoix, I would go for it. They're well enough into Gladiator territory that they'll start off on pretty deep field position that we've seen so far tonight, and the Raiders are up 21-0.
Yeah, they read your mind, so they're going to go for it here. 4th and 4, big play for here for the Raiders.
Brady Jessen shotgun. The handoff.
First down,
First
Charlevoix.
down indeed.
Yes, sir,
Henry
Bob.
Herzog gets that 4 yards needed, and we've got another first down for the Raiders.
Again, the crowd's probably about half here. Student section doesn't look like they lost a student. They're all looking full strength down there to our left. But a lot of the older folks are probably home on the couch by now underneath the Afghan with a fireplace going.
Well, fine night for that indeed. The rain starting up once again. The field muddy as ever. The ball slick. 9:36 here in the third quarter. We got a flag.
One more flag.
Pointing against St. Francis.
Amazing.
That'll be offsides on St. Francis.
Located in Charlevoix, Michigan, is Martin Concrete, where they specialize in residential concrete construction, providing high-quality concrete work and guaranteeing customer satisfaction. They're proud to serve Charlevoix and the surrounding areas. No job is too big or too small for Martin Concrete, with services ranging from concrete slabs, footings, driveways, retaining walls, and much more. There's nothing that Martin Concrete can't do regarding concrete. That's Martin Concrete, online at martinconcretecharlevoix.com, or give them a call at 231-838-9610.
Third penalty for 10 yards so far tonight. Charlevoix, contrastingly, 10 for 50.
10-3, so we're winning that one too.
That's not one we quite want to win, but, you know, at least we're
ahead.
Yeah, that's right. Traverse City here trying to get a stop and get the ball back downfield. And worked their way out of a 21-0 hole.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Charlevoix intent to see that clock just keep on ticking.
9:22 here in the third quarter. Jessen shotgun once again. 2 receivers to the top of your screen.
Oh, not so good.
Ball slips out of Vollmer's hands. Low pass to begin with there, and we've got second down and 5.
He had some room there on the far side. Just missed him by a good 5 yards there. He was all by himself out there in the far flat. But look at that sideline, Shane.
I know.
It's a mess.
The grounds crew will have fun trying to work this one up.
You think that robot? You think that robot can fix this?
No. That's a little bit out of the robot's purview.
I'd probably say 10 robots couldn't fix this field after tonight. Again, the middle portion between the 30s, right down the center, is looking a little worse every single play. Looks like they're marching this one back.
So chop block on Charlevoix gives them a 15-yard penalty. Make that 11 for 65.
Ball's on the 41-yard line, 40.5. Again, one more penalty on the Charlevoix side of this, going to put them in a little bit of a hole here.
So far, the most unclean game Charlevoix has put together in the season. As we have 1st and 19, Brady Jess in trouble, dragged out of bounds at the 50-yard line. And over goes to the bench.
Yeah, the crowd wanted a roughing the passer penalty to try to make up for some lost time there, but the ref did not make a move towards the yellow hanky.
And the crowd certainly is not happy about that one. Traverse City, their defense standing up strong here, pushing Charlevoix all the way back to the
52-yard line.
Yeah, just about. That's right. You at home watching, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long-standing joke here at Next Level Broadcasting. Dennis, I don't know what I'd do without you bringing that up here once in a while.
I don't know either.
So the Raiders have it at their own 51-yard line, we'll call it, or 49 of the Gladiators, depends on who you ask. The hand up.
Oh, he tripped over 75 there, Blazek.
There's Vollmer there trying to run the ball up the center. Gains maybe about 3.
Yeah, he had a little room there, but Blazek was still engaged in his block there and tripped over his leg. So it's going to bring up 3rd and forever. They got to get halfway to Brutus to get a first down here.
I was thinking the other way, 3rd and Elk Rapids from here just about. If you're heading back towards Gladiator territory. 3rd and 24, 8:30 to go here in the third quarter. Jess with the handoff to Logan Watkins. He's got wide open field. Past the 20, the 10, Raider touchdown.
He went all the way. That kid is on fire tonight.
That's how you turn a 24-yard third down into a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. That was a 49-yard run by Logan Watkins, who already had a 62-yard touchdown run earlier in tonight's game.
Well, St. Francis, no shape, way, or form was looking for a running play there on 3rd and 24. They were geared for the pass defense. A lot of room there in the middle. And Charlevoix just caught St. Francis back on their heels in a pass defense, and they sent Watkins up for the run.
So Pearl will be kicking this one again, this time against the wind and the rain. It goes up and is good by a mile. We have a 28-0 game.
Man, who would have thought this, eh?
I can't tell you I would have thought about this being this way, but here we are. We've had a lightning delay. We've had an innumerable number of penalties against Raiders. We've had
state feed go down.
Feed go down, a 4-minute halftime. We're switching from the state feed to YouTube. We've got it all going on here. And do we have time to switch it to commercial? Yes, we do. We're going to take care of those.
Pay some bills.
Yep, that's right. Come back on. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Charlevoix got off another touchdown here. 28-0 is the score with 8.25 minutes to go in the third quarter. Ryan Pearl just got done kicking the extra point. Now he'll be kicking off once again for the Raiders.
See if he can recover his own fumble again. Another rare feat.
His own kickoff, we should say. That's fielded at the 35-yard line by a very, very muddy Gladiator indeed. He's got some room, works up to midfield. And that'll start the Gladiators off in excellent field position here in their opening drive of the second half.
Well, the clock is Charlevoix's friend right now. When they look up there and see those seconds ticking off with a 28-0 lead, they want to try to slow this one down best they can. They just want to keep, I think, St. Francis from doing a quick score here, get back in, closer too quickly.
Now, Gladiators, for their part, have had excellent tackles so far tonight. Some great passing blocks, some QB pressures we've seen innumerable times so far tonight. There's just been a few big plays, 2 by Watkins and 1 for Vollmer, that have squeaked by him so far. So, Gladiators starting right at midfield. 50-yard line, 8:09 to go in the third quarter. Rear back, fire downfield. The pass is no good.
It's like number 3 there for Charlevoix broke that up.
That was Bryce Johnson breaking that up. The pass from Sellers, no good there. 2nd and 10 coming up from midfield.
Well, you're going to see St. Francis go to the air more right now. They just don't have the time to mess around if they want to get back in this football game. So you're going to see a steady diet of passing here into the Charlevoix secondary.
Sellers and company in shotgun. Man in motion. Sellers with the handoff and the slip up. Brady goes down. Loss of about 3.
Tackle for the turf. Put that one down for Mother Nature.
That was Harrison Shepard, who just couldn't get his feet under him in time.
And he had some room out there.
He did. He had plenty of room. The turf monster made the open field tackle there for sure.
Yeah, you can start to see some of the young men that don't play much, their uniforms are quite a bit cleaner than the three-quarters of the other players. Kind of hard to read some of the St. Francis numbers at this point.
Traverse City changing things around a little bit. Twins to the top and bottom. Sellers in the shotgun. 7:17 to go here in the third quarter. Sellers rears back, looking for a man downfield. Plenty of time. Now facing some pressure. He'll go out for a run. Past the midfield mark and gains about 4.
He's still going to be well short of the first down. Bring up a 4th and long for Traverse City St. Francis. So Shane, with about 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter, behind by 28, would you be punting or would you be playing?
If I were St. Francis, I'd be playing. I mean, you're playing to get to the state championship eventually here to move on to the next round. So down 28 points with a quarter and a half left to go. I would be doing whatever I could to play, but it doesn't look like they're going to kick it here. Charlevoix has been lights out so far on third down and long situations, resulting in a long 4th down for most of Traverse City's drives.
Nice punt.
Yes, beautiful job indeed. Fielded right at the 10-yard line. Hudson Vollmer gains maybe about 7 there before pushed out of bounds.
Yeah. And there is no tomorrow for either one of these teams. First game of the second season. If you recall last year, Charlevoix was a one and done.
Yeah.
So I think you can't tell me that didn't stick in a lot of these now senior craws from last year. That they were looking pretty sharp last year. Everybody kind of expecting a little more run into the playoffs than they got, and were tossed out early by I think Benzie.
Yeah.
Beat them a year ago right about now. So. Maybe they got a little extra juice going into this one that they're not going to go out on that very first game like they did last year.
Not only that, but this is a retribution game for the 1-point overtime loss that Charlevoix had in the first game of the season. We'll run up the center we go. Gain of about 5. 21 Landon Swanson there on the ball.
Haven't called his name yet tonight. I wonder if his father Craig is back from D.C., the D.C. trip yet. They were supposed to come back in town by 8:30, 9 o'clock, I think, so his dad and mom might still be in the school bus coming back, or they could be here watching their son play a playoff game tonight.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are just joining us live on YouTube, the Raiders are up 28-0 and have it now against the Gladiators on second down here. Wow, it got really quiet there before that snap.
It did get quiet.
There's a handoff to Landon Swanson. He keeps the legs moving.
Man.